Oh my god, I recently finally understood why guys do not invite girls for second date. Hi, my name is Sasha, I'm a Slavic girl and I love talking about dating culture while living in Paris. And I know that many women have this problem that they go on a perfect first date, everything is fine, guy likes her, but he never invites her for a second date. Honestly happened to me too, and when I understood what's actually going on, everyone started inviting me for a second date and everything goes nice. They do not invite you for a second date because they felt the weight of your expectations. So probably you went on a first date without no expectations, basically because you don't know the guy, he didn't look as hot on his pictures, and there are so many first dates in your life that, whatever, one more. But when first date goes nice, he is a gentleman, he looks great. He kisses you in the best way, and you come home and you understand that you're having a crush on him. Like you tell about this date to all of your girlfriends, again and again and again. And each time you are talking about him, you are a little bit more in love. You cross the road next morning and you can hear the wedding bells in your ears, like already practicing your wedding vows. And the problem is, he feels it. He feels it from how you answer his messages next morning. He can feel it from your emoji. He can't even explain it, but he can feel it. Something is off. Something is a little bit too much. You can tell me, no, I don't show it in any way. He feels it 100%. They feel it. They feel that you totally focused on them right now. That you stopped chatting with other guys. You stopped planning other dates. They feel that you chose them whilst they didn't yet choose you. And that's when they decide no. Even if he already promised you a second date, he stopped answering your messages, ghosting you, postponing. He's just taking his freedom back, like he doesn't want to feel this weight of expectations. And that's why many men appear from nowhere after several months, because they do not feel any expectations from you anymore, but they just remembered how actually the time with you was nice. So girl, if you want to have second date, no expectations, no wedding bells, never stop chatting with other guys, keep going on dates. Do not choose man before he chose you, and you will have your second, third, fourth date no matter what. What do you think, girls? Have it ever happened to you? Let me know in the comments.
Greetings, everyone. I hope all is okay with you guys. I'll go over more information about why men no longer ask contemporary women out on dates in today's video. To put it simply, it's pretty obvious. We've seen videos of women claiming that guys no longer ask them out on dates go popular on social media. Let's get started now. Ever ponder why he declined to invite you out again? It's not always about appearances or the apparent course of the evening. The true cause is frequently something women aren't even aware they're doing: the burden of implicit expectations. Despite the fact that you may not express it verbally, your energy is blatantly committed. It is noticed by men. They can tell when you're making plans for the future before he's even finished drinking. It's not that complicated. Men don't ask women out on dates if they're not interested. That strain? It is weighty but unseen. It's the sensation that you're meeting to secure, rather than to connect. You're auditioning him for a part he never consented to play, so you're not having fun. And most guys are turned off by that. On a first date, he doesn't want to bear the emotional burden of someone who is already seeing marriage. It's common for men to leave after a single outing because they feel stuck in a fantasy that they didn't co-sign. He could tell you were only thrilled about the prospect of locking something down at last, not because you were actually seeing him. And let's face it, that is desperation disguised as intention, not connection. It makes no difference how well the talk flowed or how courteous you were. He's gone if he sensed that subliminal pressure to be anything too soon. It is women who mistake attention for entitlement, not men who are afraid of love. A man does not owe you a relationship just because he agreed to supper. It's your fault if you go in thinking that every date should result in an official relationship. And that's precisely the reason he didn't follow up. Unrealistic criteria and a silent checklist have taken the place of the ability to explore and learn about others naturally. Men aren't stupid. They can sense when you're thinking too far ahead. Yes, you did not say anything. However, your body language, tone, and inquiries all conveyed your desired outcome. It was a timeline, not merely a follow-up discussion. It's pressure, not desire. Furthermore, no man desires to be forced into a commitment before any trust has been established. Perhaps consider what kind of emotional burden you are carrying into the room if you have ever been ghosted after a first date and you are unsure the reason.
The most frustrating thing about men is the fact that they refuse to acknowledge when they are being flirted with. We'll go, "You're so handsome," and they just go, They look so confused to the point where you're like, they obviously want nothing to do with me. That's okay. Won't do that again. And later you find out they liked you the whole time. So, what?
Women are angry. She said that no man noticed her flirting. She is now raving online, as if guys are to blame once more. But let's face it, either she's not good at expressing interest, or the men she wants to date aren't looking for her. This is not a more profound riddle. There is no conspiracy. The messages are either faint or undesired, not that males are suddenly blind to them. This never-ending cycle of complaints has become the norm in modern dating. Men approach too much one day, and they don't notice when I'm trying the next. Which one is it? You can't have both of them. When a man greets you, you can't roll your eyes and then complain about being invisible when no one approaches. It is precisely because of this discrepancy that men are retreating. They're fed up with being positioned to fail regardless of their efforts. A man will notice if he's interested. Guys aren't dumb. They can tell when someone is truly interested in them. However, if your flirtation consists of a look followed by a frown, don't be surprised if it's ignored. The days of playing hard to get her over. Not when men are more cautious than ever in the dating market, and with good cause. Women must no longer believe that hard work equates to entitlement. A man does not necessarily owe you attention just because you laughed or smiled at a joke. That's just plain etiquette, not chemistry. And it's your fault if your interpretation of flirting lacks clarity and confidence. Not only is it impractical to expect men to seek out breadcrumbs at the risk of public rejection, but it is also entitled A. Imagine if males said, "I waved at her once, and she didn't text me back." Let's flip that. Women are damaged. It would sound absurd, but it becomes a legitimate criticism when the positions are switched? No. Instead of blaming the entire gender if you're not receiving responses, it might be time to reconsider your strategy, because it's possible that men are simply not interested in you, rather than the other way around.
What is it that men don't understand about making a date? Like, if you want to date a woman who has hobbies, who has interests, who goes to the gym, who has friends, who has a job, you have to pick a time and a place, like, well in advance. I just don't understand. I'm getting texts from men at like 2 p.m. being like, "Hey, free later, we should hang out." Or even they'll elevate it. This isn't even about whether it's a coffee date or a hangout. They'll be like, "Hey, free later, we should grab a drink." And it's like, no. By 2 p.m., I already have plans for tonight. I probably already have plans for tomorrow and the next day. Maybe I've signed up for a gym class after work and I don't want to get charged a cancellation fee for canceling it in less than 12 hours. Or I've made a nail appointment and my nails need to get done. Or I've agreed to go to happy hour with coworkers after work. Also, if you want me to show up to this date, like prepared and ready for the date, you want me to have time to go home, shower, do my hair, put on a nice outfit, right? It takes more than like 10 minutes, right? And I've scheduled out my day. And this isn't even commentary on the theory that you should never accept same-day dates. Like, if I was free, I would consider it. But as a woman with a job and friends and hobbies and interests who goes to the gym, by 2 p.m. I already have plans. By Wednesday, I already have my Thursday through Sunday figured out. Like, what about this do men not understand? Just pick a time and a place and give me like 3 to 4 days notice.
I saw a video in which a woman was complaining about how men no longer know how to arrange appropriate dates. Furthermore, I couldn't help but chuckle, not because she wasn't genuinely frustrated, but rather because she was tired of the double standard. She's out here complaining about how he failed to set the vibe, confirm quickly enough, and choose a precise location she had in mind. But for a moment, let's swap perspectives. In the same way, a male would be ridiculed for being unappreciative if he claimed that a woman had not made the date easy or ideal. She would have made time if she had wanted to go. Whether it was a 5-star restaurant or the text didn't include pyrotechnics, she would have arrived. Men are expected by women to make bookings, clear schedules, read minds, and provide a tailored experience during the initial meeting. They have the option to arrive late and still determine whether you are worth their time. Men are tired of putting themselves through unnecessary hassles in the hopes of getting a chance, not because they lack planning skills. If a man chooses a location, a time, and communicate effectively, is that still insufficient? Then perhaps the planning isn't the issue. Perhaps the entitlement is the issue. Let's not pretend that there aren't any ladies out there who use a date as a way to waste time because they're bored or to get a free lunch. Expectations only go in one direction, which is crazy. Although men are supposed to take charge, plan, and impress, women are free to cancel at the last minute. disappear completely, or voice dissatisfaction with the effort put forth. A woman will not be fussing over who sent the last text or whether the restaurant had a valet if she genuinely values a man. She will be there, be present, and return the favor. Ironically, women claim to want men to be intentional, communicative, and planned, but when those things really occur, they still find something to gripe about. Many males are tuned out because of this, because it seems that no matter how we present ourselves, it's never enough. Let's face it, she will find fault with everything if she isn't interested. All that extra noise doesn't matter if she is. If you're a male who's ever had someone who didn't intend to value your effort tell you that it wasn't good enough,
I just turned down a first date I had said yes to. I like that he had made solid plans, but here's the deal breaker. I asked if he was going to send a car for me, and he responded with, "Do you really need that?" I mean, technically no one needs anything, but yes, that's what I want. He said that he's never had a girl ask, which is fair, but ladies, we need to step our game up. Following that, I nicely declined the date, thanked him for planning, then told him we can stay friends. You might think I'm crazy for that, but after going on multiple dates this past year, I realized there are very specific things I need and want. How someone approaches something goes to show their values. If you're not aligned, you'll have bigger issues down the road. And then you'll be stuck convincing someone to change.
Or even worse, having to beg for certain things. I've done all the above and never again. When feelings get involved, it's much harder to let go that you end up settling. So remember, you're not asking for too much, you're asking the wrong person.
the woman in the video explains that she canceled a date because the male failed to send her an Uber. Indeed, it seems that the fact that he planned, spoke openly, chose a location, and expected her to meet him there like a grown adult was insufficient if he wasn't covering her transportation costs. She concluded that he wasn't worth her time. In all honesty, this is the same mentality that has caused modern dating to be so chaotic. It's absurd that males are always expected to put forth effort, but any indication of reciprocity is greeted with entitlement. When two people are only beginning to know one another, a first date should be reciprocal, equal power. He shouldn't have to cover the cost of transportation, the dinner, and an evaluation that resembles a job application. Perhaps you're just looking for a sponsor and aren't even ready to date if you need a ride to get there. Even worse, ladies like these try to legitimize it online, as if delivering a car is an unspoken code of respect. No, it isn't. It's not a baseline. It's a luxury, instead of waiting to be chauffeured. If you're interested in someone, you find a means to meet them halfway. However, far too many women nowadays view dating as a business deal rather than a bond. Before they ever demonstrate their worth, they want to be sought after, lavished with attention, and taken care of. The sense of entitlement is so great that a man is labeled as broke, lazy, or unimportant when he doesn't show up. She has just existed in the interim. Just expectations with no initiative, inquiry, or effort. That is manipulation masquerading as femininity. It is not dating. And the men who see through it are less concerned with performance and more with peace. They're retreating because they're sick of being taken advantage of, not because they're afraid of commitment. Consider this. A man would be laughed at, labeled a jerk, and written off in a matter of seconds if he asked a woman to buy him gas or give him a ride to visit her. However, is it suddenly a sign of high worth when the roles are reversed? No, it's exhausting to see double standards at work. She would have made it happen if she truly wanted to meet him. However, she put her ego before her work. You're not the only male who is fed up with being expected to do everything and receiving little in return.
Over 40 years, women have told men to leave them alone. Don't approach me, you creep, they would all say. And it turns out if you keep telling men to stay away from you, they will. Modern women are going on TikTok to whine about men not approaching them. Back in the day, it was simple. A guy saw a pretty woman, walked up to her and said hi. Of course, women called that predatory and patriarchy, and now everything's messed up. Men not approaching women anymore.
Women are currently whining about guys not approaching them anymore, but they are missing the fact that they're the ones who initially closed the door. They made it apparent for years that they didn't want to be addressed in public or have their appearance misinterpreted, and any effort to establish a relationship was met with accusations of being creepy or harassing. You told males to keep their distance, and now you're angry because they did? When you drive people away for a long time and then anticipate a different outcome, this is what happens. Men are listening. They have discovered the hard way that even politely approaching a lady can result in rejection, embarrassment, or social media backlash. They are careful but not frigid. Women have contributed to the transformation of the environment into what it is now. Demanding pursuit and penalizing men for expressing desire are incompatible. You can't say, "Where have all the good men gone?" after making fun of one guy for not being your type. They have simply become silent, but they are still present. They've been repeatedly reminded that their effort isn't appreciated until they're the exact man you already wanted. Not because they don't care. Because of this way of thinking, dating has become a society in which women want men to take the initiative, plan, and lead, but provide neither support nor protection in return. Whenever a guy musters the fortitude to speak, he is received with apathy, entitlement, or attitude. He eventually gives up trying. He stopped chasing after someone who already views him as a bother, not because he'd given up on love. Women are unaware that the noise they made is directly responsible for the silence they are now observing. Every time a woman made fun of a man for attempting on the internet or made fun of a gesture that didn't meet her standards, it conveyed a message. They are now curious as to why the room is so silent. The men's departure is the reason. A game that is rigged against them is not something they want to play. It's not because guys stopped approaching. Rather, it's because they became more intelligent. If this resonated with you, please remember to subscribe for more unvarnished truth, like the video, and leave a comment. Men are no longer playing by the same rules because the game has changed. Maintain your composure, your standards high, and your head clear. Till the next occasion.